We have about 96 total. Some of that's woods and a little bit of it's swamp. We have probably 60 acres that we're tilling. Yeah. Done with it. It's great when you use it for what you're using it for, but then when you're done with it, it's just total waste. And it doesn't disintegrate like, most garbage when you dump it in the landfill, eventually it breaks down. This stuff just stays, it just never breaks down.
Yeah.
Obviously we start with raw styrofoam, whatever, there's different markets, whatever it is. It comes in all sizes and shapes, as you can see.
Yeah.
Some of that was from a fish market, it's baled. And the early stuff that we got, that was a big mistake. If you get to a point where you're ever making the stuff, don't take anything that's got plastic mixed in with it. That all has to get separated by hand before we can grind it. That came from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So we've had it come from all over the place, and there's all different shapes and sizes it comes in. So the machine has to be somewhat adaptable, because this stuff would handle different than this one. So you could use a smaller machine on that. So underneath this silver-colored cover, this unpainted cover, there's a set of what they call hammers.
Yeah.
It's a drum about the size of that can, and it has pieces of metal that are about, about an inch wide and a 1/4 inch thick, and they're, 6-8 inches long. And there's a whole series of them on a shaft, on different shafts all the way around this. So when this thing comes, these hammers are flying out like this, and that's what breaks up the styrofoam. And then there's a screen in there with 1/2 inch holes in it.
Yeah.
And it forces the material through the 1/2 inch screen. This is what it looks like when it comes out.
Filtered stuff?
Yep.
So that's
Okay. Now, see the little tiny beads?
Yeah.
See, I'm not an expert on styrofoam, but I've learned there's two kinds of styrofoam. One is expanded, one is extruded.
Yeah.
This is what they call expanded. They mix up their mess or whatever it is in there that they put in it, some kind of polymers and stuff, and then it does its thing and it forms these little beads. Okay, that's called expanded. The extruded is made where it's mixed all up and then it's forced out and it comes out like this stuff. The expanded and the extruded make different sizes when they go through the same screen.
Yeah.
So that sometimes pieces, well, you can see all these pieces of purple. They've gone through, and some of them end up a little bigger.
Yeah.
Now he's decided that's good because it's more like natural soil would be, with little particles and big particles. Goes from whatever state the pile is in, or however you're storing it, to the grinder, to the mixer. And then, as I said, we have got to process these bags. Put the styrofoam in first, then the pectin, then we add the clay, then the compost.
Okay.
There you go. What it is, it's 10 yards.
Yeah.
10 cubic yards of styrofoam, ground up styrofoam.
Yeah.
1 cubic yard of compost.
Yeah.
And I had a sample here to show you we use, and he's got a little clay that goes in it. This is the clay.
Oh, okay.
This is the compost.
Yeah.
We make the compost right here on the farm, from leaves and various animal manure and some bedding and hay mixed in with it and that kind of thing. Put the styrofoam in first, then the pectin, then we add the clay, then the compost.
Okay.
There you go. Because the clay, in 10 yards, the clay gets about 20 shovels full of clay. It's not molding clay. I get it from a gravel bank that washes sand and gravel.
Yeah.
And you don't want clay and sand that you're going to put on the road because it makes a muddy mess.
Yeah.
Clay holds water and makes a mess.
Yeah.
So it's the residue from washed sand and gravel. And then the one cubic yard of
Compost?
compost. Yep.
With some fertilizer?
What's that?
With additions of fertilizer throughout?
We don't do anything with fertilizer. Whatever's in the compost is in it. Initially, the compost has enough nutrients in it that stuff grows.